Question 2 is, how can we as individuals and as families practically keep our faith alive during this time of the lockdown?
This is one of the major breakthroughs that has come about as a result of this, is that the lockdown has caused churches in general and individuals all over South Africa to be awoken to the fact that we are always God's people, whether we gather or whether we're in our homes. And the lockdown is a great facilitator of that. Our conduct of our personal spirituality is always the key to really vital faith. And so that's still the case. And it's just becoming more concentrated by the fact that we're in lockdown.
I do believe that there's three things that helps us to build our faith. The first thing is being in the Word, reading the Word of God, meditating on the Word, because when you do that, you are exalting the voice of God, not the voice of the media, the voice of what people are saying, the voice of the fear that is inflicted by everything that people are saying out there. So the first thing is be in the Word, listen to the Word, hear what the promises of God are, and stay on those promises. The second thing is pray. Do your best to pray with your family. Do your best to pray for those who may be affected by the Covid-19 virus. Do your best to stand with those who are in need at this time and pray for them. And thirdly, take up communion. Communion is significant because it reminds us of what Jesus did for us on the cross. Remember, he said this to us. He said, every time you do this, remember, do it in remembrance of me, the victory that was won on the cross. That is why we take up communion, because to remind ourselves of the Passover. Because Jesus sees the blood, the Lord sees the blood in our lives, we have victory.
I would like to offer a spiritual discipline that I do that just really has helped me in my process. And you know that verse where it says, search me, O God, and know every way within me. And so this is a way where I sit with the Lord and just talk with him. And I would suggest that you really allow it to come out of your emotions and what you're feeling. I believe emotions are the language that God gave us as humans to communicate with him as divine. So when we feel joy, we express praise. When we're sad because we have loss, we come to the Lord and we can mourn and lament with him, and then he's able to comfort us. And so I would pay attention to your emotions.
So just to say that it actually is a great opportunity. This is a kairos moment. The word kairos means disaster as well as opportunity. God works in moments of pending stress. And so it's an opportunity for 3 weeks in lockdown to connect with God in a deeper way through practicing spiritual disciplines like more worship, private prayer, intercession, practicing solitude and silence, and also obviously meditation and reading good spiritual books and Bible study. But to plan the 3-4 weeks at home to really engage intentionally with God at a far deeper level.
I'm loving seeing the way that so many families and individuals within those families are finding ways to encourage one another within the family, and also the way that the churches are responding to this by sharing the word and sharing helpful ways in which we can be growing as Christians, and also not only within our own spirituality, but as examples and as agents in the world of God's love.
Relationships will be strained in the home over these 3-4 weeks, and to learn to love each other and make space for each other at a deeper level, play games together, have devotions together as a family, probably as followers of Jesus daily, that would really be good. And of course, connecting with family via WhatsApp and video calls, and staying in touch in solidarity close with other folk.
The two key things for every one of us in times like this are stay close to God. Make sure that you're developing your own sense of history with Him, your own sense of faith, and at the same time, keep giving it away. So receive the grace and give the grace away. And that is the cycle by which everyone grows in their faith all the time. And now, maybe more importantly, in a time when we don't have as many external supports for our faith as we usually do.
I have like a 5 little question reflection kind of prayer that could be helpful for you to process your emotions with the Lord in this time. And I think this could be a way that your faith could be really practical to what's happening now and just start lots of really great conversations with Jesus. So the first question would be, Lord, what am I feeling and why? So whatever emotion you're feeling, maybe you get a word, maybe you're actually feeling it, maybe you get some kind of picture, but allow the Lord to help you surface what you're feeling and then ask Him about why. And just listen, see what He brings up into your memory. Maybe He brings back something. After you spend a little time thinking about that, you can ask the second question. Lord, where did this feeling first begin? The coronavirus is a platform that has unearthed a lot of different things in our lives, and that's why I think it's a great time for us to also reflect on our own faith and place. But you may be feeling fear, but when you ask the Lord, where did this first begin, He might take you back to a whole different memory somewhere else and actually help you track maybe fear in your life that the coronavirus now has just reemerged. The third question is, what lie or bad behavior either got root or is trying to take root because of either this thing that's happened to me, this emotion that I'm feeling, what. So this kind of is a section to, with the Lord, explore how is the enemy trying to use this for his kingdom versus the Lord's. The lie might be that you can't trust God, or the lie might be that you're all alone and you don't have friends. Who knows? But allow the Lord to help bring up to you what lie the enemy might be trying to tell you because of this thing or this feeling you're experiencing. Number 4 then would be, what is your truth in this, either emotion or event? Maybe He's taking you to a memory from your childhood, and allow Him to speak truth, especially where the enemy maybe is trying to spoke or has spoken lies. And then the final one I always love to end with is just asking the Lord, how do you want to affirm or reassure me today? And that's always just a beautiful time. So I think that could be something you could try, just to engage with lively and keep your faith alive, especially reality with the Lord letting Him speak to you.
I don't know about you, but I'm finding these different voices very helpful. And I'm surely going to be putting some of these ideas into practice during this lockdown season. We all need each other to develop our faith and to be encouraged. But I think this lockdown is particularly taking us back to the basics. And I think it's teaching us and reminding us that while we enjoy God as a community, we all need a personal relationship and a personal touch with God. I think this lockdown is reminding us that we all need to have a spiritual discipline that can help us and help everyone to stand strong in our faith and to keep ourselves in tune, in touch, and connected with God, both as a community and as individuals. So family, let us continue fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of our faith, and let us continue working on our inward journey and knowing that Jesus is right by our side, holding our hand and walking with us. And as a community and as individuals, let us remember the aim is not to miss what God is saying to all of us, what God is offering all of us, and what God is inviting us to during this season. Until we see each other again tomorrow when we deal with the third question, much love to all of you. Sharp, sharp.